j'ai ordonné d'augmenter le nombre de têtes nucléaires de notre arsenal.
President Emmanuel Maccron says his country will increase the size of its nuclear arsenal for the first time in decades. Speaking at a military base that hosts his country's nuclear-armed submarines, Maccron also said France will temporarily allow the deployment of nuclear-armed jets to allies like the UK, Germany, and Poland. His announcement comes amid growing concerns about Russian military aggression and ongoing political tensions with Washington.
Pour être libre donc, il faut être craint.
To be free, one must be feared, and to be feared, one must be powerful. This increase in our arsenal attests to this.
Quant à nos alliés américains,
as for our American allies, their recent national security and defense strategy shows a rearrangement of American priorities and a strong encouragement for Europe to take more direct care of its own security.
France currently has fewer than 300 nuclear warheads, which ranks it fourth worldwide and far behind the likes of the U.S. and Russia. Maccron did not signal how many more France will be adding, but it will be the first increase since at least 1992.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.
Emmanuel Maccron is playing a very dangerous game right now, very dangerous. Reports saying he warned Zelensky that the United States might betray Ukraine's own territory. Absolutely ridiculous. And I'll say it straight. Maccron, you don't speak for America. Not now. Not ever. If anyone is going to talk about U.S. policy, it's me. And I'm telling you, using fear to pressure Ukraine is not leadership. It's manipulation. And it's weak. Maccron wants to look like a big global player, but making these kinds of statements in private meetings, that's not diplomacy, that's stirring the pot, and the world sees it. Believe me, they see it. So here's my warning, Emmanuel, stop pretending you understand what America will or won't do. Stop trying to push Ukraine into concessions that benefit nobody but your own political image, and stop acting like Europe can afford another disaster because of your ego. If you want peace, act like a leader. If you want chaos, keep making these statements. But don't ever speak as if the United States is about to betray anyone.
Right, welcome back, family. I don't know how I can put this. I don't know how I can put this, because for Emmanuel Maccron to just wake up and make that kind of statement, this it's not all about the power. It's not all about power, but I think it's like a threat to the world. He's trying to warn the world that if you continue doing this, then we are going to launch our own. We are going to increase our own nuclear weapons. We are going to adjust our power, our strength, and make sure that we are going to rule and destroy everyone who at least trying to come and attack us. Because at this time, accusation has become so much. Accusation has become so much, and every empire is trying to feel like they are so superior than the other. Every empire is trying to feel or to prove its superiority than the other. That's why today a lot is happening in the world. The world leaders are not cooperating with one another. Everyone wants to show his power, his strength, and that's why all this is happening. You know, when an animal is about to die, it sometimes comes out to show that it still have power, it's still strong, so that the other people cannot, or other animals cannot view it as a weak animal who is about to be eliminated in the jungle. So today the world is like a jungle where everyone is trying to wake up and try to show his strength, his power. So today it's not all about religion and everything, but it's all about the accusation, the threats, the veto power, the quarrels, the everything. So Emmanuel Maccron today, you know, there's some world today which are countries which are having these nuclear weapons, but you don't hear anything from them. You don't listen. You cannot hear them speaking about this. Iran is one of the countries that is having or owning all these nuclear weapons, but you cannot see them or hear them addressing these issues or talking about the nuclear weapons. But when things arise as how it's happening, that's when you start to realize that all these people are well packaged, well organized, and they're all having all these nuclear weapons. And that's why they're quarreling and they're trying to compete each other. And that's why, first of all, Africa has to learn something. As African continent has to learn something. That the world today, everyone is on its own. Everyone is at his own, on his own way. No one is bothered to another one. No one is there to take care of the other one. No one is there to know what you're passing through or what you're going through. So at this time, the first thing we need to do as African continent is to unite. Because if we can be able to unite, we can have something to discuss about. We can build our own bloc. We can be able to discuss our own issues. We can be able to defend ourselves. But if we are not united, we are still divided, we are still fighting against ourselves, then we are opening the gates for the people who are so superior, well developed and organized to come and do anything. Because today there is nothing like ally, there's nothing like the friendship, there's nothing like a partners, because everyone today is standing on his own side to make sure that he or she protects himself. And that's what is happening today. Maccron has woke up. He's trying to threaten, but I believe that this is just because I'm so sure that Maccron today is so afraid of Russia and China. They're so afraid of Russia and China because Russia and China, what they're doing is that that is to make sure that all these countries that are being attacked by America and Israel, they're going on back of it to protect them. They're going to launch some missiles, all these weapons to make sure that they protect these people from not being destroyed. And we know for the longest time, France has been fighting for this. And now Maccron has come out and realized that NATO is not guaranteed for safety of the world. The African Union, the European Union is not guaranteed to provide a protection for the world and maybe deliver the peace that is needed across the world. That's why today they're coming out to say that we have a lot, we are very strong, and when we decide to make the decision and strike, no one and nobody can overcome this. Nobody can overcome this. And these are the straight words from Emmanuel Macron, the French president, not by tweets, not by emails, but the right words, the direct words from his mouth, trying to threaten the world and warn them that it's better you cool down. It's better you cool down because all that happened during the First World War, the Second World War, it all destroyed the entire continent of Europe. It was about to destroy the entire continent of Europe. And because today we are awake, we are well developed, we are well organized, we have all that we need to protect ourselves, we will not allow this to happen. We will not allow what happened to repeat itself. So my concern is that Africa has to take precaution because of all that's happening. No one is standing up to defend the continent of the Africa because we don't have anything. I do really remember when Ibrahim Traoré was invited in Russia for the parade, for the great parade. He only asked Putin one thing, that we need to access we need to access nuclear weapons. We need to learn on how to build these weapons. Because by doing this, by having all this, we will be able at least to speak when the world is speaking. We will be able at least to guarantee our self-security. We will be able at least to protect ourselves in case of anything that comes out. So when African leaders are going outside to the outside world, they have been always going out. They are focused in loans, in IMF, in everything, but not in a protection zone, not discussing or negotiating on how they can be able to organize themselves so that they can be able to protect themselves when some things like this comes out. Only Ibrahim Traoré was able to try at least to address these kind of things. And now today we are in a position where we are able to see that it was very important as African continent at least to access even a single nuclear weapons, so that even the world can be afraid to the African continent and can put that respect, because we are having something to speak about. So I won't take much of your time. Kindly just let me have your voice to comment section. What do you think about this video? Do you think this is just a threat from Emmanuel Macron, or he's afraid of the other empires and how they're working and dealing with their issues? Be blessed. From Lara, appreciate you are doing great. Peace out.